My dear, perhaps you have spent a great deal of your life preparing to be happy. You have worked, waited, improved yourself, solved problems, and tried to arrange everything so that one day you could finally exhale and say, "Now I am allowed to enjoy my life." Yet every time one condition is fulfilled, another condition appears. The finish line quietly moves, and happiness remains somewhere in the distance. Today, I want to invite you into a different relationship with joy. You do not have to wait until your life is complete. Your life is happening now, and some form of happiness is allowed to meet you here. Happiness does not live exclusively inside money, possessions, success, romance, or approval. These things can enrich life, provide comfort, and create meaningful experiences. There is nothing wrong with wanting them. Yet, if your entire capacity for happiness depends on external conditions remaining favorable, your inner peace will always feel fragile. Circumstances naturally change. Money moves. Possessions age. People have their own choices, and recognition comes and goes. A deeper happiness begins in the relationship you create with yourself and with life. It is found in how you speak to yourself when plans change, how you care for your body when it becomes tired, and how willing you are to notice what is still beautiful during an imperfect day. It grows when you stop treating every difficulty as proof that life has abandoned you. It becomes stronger when you recognize that you can feel disappointment and still remain connected to meaning, love, and possibility. Complete happiness does not mean constant cheerfulness. No human being is meant to remain joyful in every circumstance. Sadness allows you to acknowledge loss. Anger may reveal that something important has been violated. Fear can alert you to risk. Tiredness asks you to reduce the demand. Even confusion can create the pause in which a new understanding begins. A happy life makes room for these emotions without allowing any one of them to become the whole identity. You can have a painful day within a meaningful life. You can grieve and still know that love exists. You can feel uncertain and still trust your ability to take the next step. Happiness is not the absence of emotional weather. It is the presence of an inner place to which you can return as the weather changes. Think of this inner place as a quiet sanctuary. It is not built from the promise that nothing difficult will happen. It is built from the promise that you will not abandon yourself when something difficult happens. Within this sanctuary, you can say, "I am listening. I will not hurry you." We will respond when we understand what is needed. This is inner heaven, not escape from life, but a loving way of inhabiting it. You create this sanctuary through small practices. You pause before repeating a harsh thought. You allow the body to rest without calling rest laziness. You choose not to use someone else's mood as the measure of your worth. You remember a person, place, purpose, or truth that gives your life meaning. None of these choices makes every problem disappear. They prevent the problem from occupying every room within you. Peace does not need to wait for the complete resolution of your circumstances. You may still need to make a decision, change a habit, ask for help, or leave something that is harmful. Inner peace does not make you passive. It gives you a steadier position from which to act. Say gently, "I do not need every part of life to be perfect before I allow peace into this moment. I am creating a kind and dependable place within myself. I am allowed to return there whenever I need." Many people are not incapable of happiness. They have simply become accustomed to postponing it. They say, "I will relax when the work is finished," although the work continually renews itself. I will enjoy my body when it changes. I will feel worthy when someone loves me. I will celebrate when I reach the largest goal. In this way, joy becomes a reward that is always scheduled for later. Perhaps you learned that pleasure must be earned through exhaustion. Maybe you saw the adults around you carry responsibility with seriousness and came to believe that happiness was careless. You may feel guilty when your life becomes easier because someone you love is still struggling. You may distrust a peaceful period and begin searching for the problem that will end it. These reactions deserve compassion. They may be attempts to protect you from disappointment. If you never relax into joy, you imagine that losing it will hurt less. If you expect trouble, you hope you will not be surprised. Yet living in constant preparation for pain does not prevent pain. It only makes it harder to receive the goodness that is already present. Happiness does not need to be earned through perfection. You are allowed to enjoy a meal while a goal remains unfinished. You are allowed to laugh during a season of healing. You are allowed to rest before you have reached complete exhaustion. Joy is not a certificate issued after you have solved every human problem. It is nourishment for the person who is still living, learning, and carrying responsibilities. Begin by allowing small experiences of goodness. Do not demand a magnificent emotional transformation. Notice the warmth of water on your hands, the taste of a drink, the softness of clean clothing, the light entering a room, or the sound of a familiar voice. Stay with the experience for a few seconds instead of rushing through it. Let the body recognize that the moment contains something pleasant. When someone offers a sincere compliment, receive it without immediately correcting them. Say, "Thank you." Notice whether part of you wants to minimize the praise. You do not have to construct your identity from their opinion, but you can allow appreciation to reach you. Give yourself permission to rest. Rest is not a prize for becoming nearly ill from overwork. It is part of the rhythm that keeps you connected to life. A rested mind can recognize options that an exhausted mind cannot see. A cared-for body becomes a more hospitable place for joy. Practice allowing a beautiful moment to remain beautiful. You do not need to reduce it by saying, "This will not last," or "Something will probably go wrong." Of course, all moments change. Their temporary nature does not make them unworthy of being received. A song ends, but listening still matters. A flower does not remain forever, but its beauty is not false. You may find that joy initially feels vulnerable. When you relax, the heart opens. When the heart opens, it remembers what it has lost as well as what it hopes to receive. Be gentle with this mixture. Happiness and sadness can sit beside one another. You can feel grateful for what is present and still miss what is gone. Emotional wholeness does not require choosing only one feeling. Each morning, ask, "What goodness am I willing to allow today?" It might be ease in one task, a peaceful lunch, help from another person, an honest conversation, or 10 minutes without pressure. Then notice whether you cooperate with that goodness when it arrives. Do you accept the help? Do you pause long enough to enjoy the meal? Do you allow the moment of connection to matter? Say, "I give myself permission to experience joy today. I do not need to finish my entire life before I begin enjoying it. It is safe for me to rest, receive, laugh, and appreciate what is good. I welcome happiness without demanding that it become permanent or perfect." Happiness is your destiny not because every moment will be pleasant, but because your capacity for joy meaning, connection, and inner peace belongs naturally within you. You are not chasing a distant destination. You are learning to recognize the doors through which happiness already enters. And in the next part, we will go deeper into the 3 layers of happiness: the happiness of the body, the happiness of the heart, and the happiness of a meaningful life. You will learn why pleasure, connection, and purpose are different and how they can work together to create a happiness that is not only exciting for a moment, but rich enough to hold your whole life. Do you know how many layers happiness has? Let us discover them together, because happiness is much richer than simply feeling cheerful. You may have moments of pleasure and still feel that something important is missing. You may live a meaningful life and still forget to enjoy the day in front of you. You may appreciate your journey while needing comfort during a difficult season. True happiness is not one emotion. It is a relationship among how you feel, how you view your life, and what gives your life meaning. The first layer is affect, or your immediate emotional experience. This includes delight, pleasure, excitement, comfort, amusement, and the small moments in which life feels enjoyable. It is the laughter that arrives during a conversation, the satisfaction of eating something you love, the relief of finishing a task, or the calm of sunlight entering a room. This layer changes frequently. Your physical health, sleep, surroundings, hormones, stress level, and events of the day can all influence it. You may feel joyful in the morning and discouraged by the afternoon. This does not mean happiness has failed. It means emotions are naturally responsive to life. Immediate pleasure matters because it gives color and warmth to experience. Yet it cannot carry the whole responsibility for happiness. If you expect yourself to feel good every hour, normal emotional changes will seem like personal failures. Enjoy pleasant emotions when they come, and allow the others to bring their information without turning them into permanent identities. The second layer is life satisfaction. This is the broader sense that you respect the direction of your life and appreciate the choices you are making. You may have a tiring day and still feel satisfied with the person you are becoming. You may be working through a problem while knowing that your life contains relationships, values, and commitments that matter. Life satisfaction does not require every area to be complete. You can appreciate your work while wanting greater opportunity. You can be grateful for your body while seeking better health. You can value your present home while preparing for another one. Satisfaction and growth are not enemies. You do not have to dislike today in order to create tomorrow. Ask yourself, when I look at the way I am living, do my choices generally reflect what matters to me? The answer may reveal areas that need attention, but it may also show progress you have forgotten to honor. Satisfaction grows when your outer decisions and inner values begin moving in the same direction. The third layer is meaning and purpose. Meaning answers the question, why does my life matter beyond immediate comfort? It may come through contribution, love, creativity, faith, learning, service, or participation in something larger than personal gain. Meaning does not always feel pleasant. Caring for someone, completing important work, or standing for a value can be difficult and still make life feel deeply worthwhile. A full life needs all 3 layers. You need moments to enjoy, a journey you can respect, and a reason to continue when enjoyment temporarily disappears. Pleasure helps you inhabit the present. Satisfaction helps you appreciate the path. Meaning helps you endure, contribute, and grow. Say, I welcome the happiness of this moment, the satisfaction of an honest journey, and the meaning that comes from living beyond myself. Your mind cannot notice everything at once. It selects, filters, and emphasizes certain information. What you repeatedly search for becomes easier to recognize. If you continually ask, what is wrong? The mind becomes highly skilled at locating problems. This ability can be useful when something truly needs attention, but it can also become so dominant that it hides everything supportive. Guiding attention toward joy does not require ignoring danger, injustice, grief, or responsibility. It means allowing positive experience to be included in your picture of reality. A day can contain a difficult conversation and a nourishing meal. You can receive disappointing news and still notice someone's kindness. One experience does not have to erase the other. Begin the morning with a new question. What might make today a little more beautiful? Perhaps the answer is a calm beginning, music while you prepare, a thoughtful message, or time outside. The question encourages participation. It reminds you that beauty can be invited through small choices rather than awaited as a grand event. Then ask, what quality do I want to bring into this day? Choose patience, humor, courage, curiosity, warmth, or focus. You cannot control every event, but you can influence the spirit with which you meet it. A chosen quality becomes a guide when the day grows busy. Pause when something goes well. Many people complete a task and immediately move to the next demand without allowing any sense of satisfaction. Take a few seconds and say, I did that with care. When a warm moment occurs, notice it. When support arrives, let yourself register that you were helped. Do not dismiss ordinary goodness because it is familiar. A meal is ordinary until you are unable to enjoy one. Laughter may seem small until you have moved through a period in which it rarely appeared. Light entering a room, clean water, a comfortable chair, or an honest conversation may not create excitement, but they create the texture of a livable life. Your attention is a form of appreciation. What you notice becomes more available to memory. By allowing goodness to register, you build a more complete account of your day. Say, I guide my attention with love. I see what needs care, and I also recognize what is already bringing goodness into my life. Listen for sentences that begin with, I will only be happy when. You may finish them with more money, a different body, another person's transformation, a relationship, a house, or a professional milestone. These desires may be sincere and important, but the word only gives one future condition control over your entire present emotional life. If you say, I can only be happy when this person changes, you place your well-being inside a decision that belongs to someone else. If you say, I can only be happy when I succeed, every stage of learning becomes an obstacle rather than part of life. If you insist that joy must wait until your finances improve, you may overlook forms of connection, beauty, and meaning that do not require the final result. Replace the condition with a choice. I can create one moment of peace today while I continue working toward what matters. This is not settling. You can pursue better circumstances and still permit yourself to live. You are removing the belief that present joy betrays future ambition. Do not use the past as a prophecy. Perhaps previous relationships disappointed you, your plans were delayed, or happiness once disappeared unexpectedly. These events deserve to be understood, but they do not define every future possibility. You have new awareness, different resources, and more capacity to choose. You are allowed to learn a new way of living. You can become someone who rests before reaching exhaustion, receives goodness without suspicion, and enjoys progress before the ultimate achievement. The fact that these behaviors feel unfamiliar does not mean they are wrong. Create your own definition of happiness. It may not resemble the image you inherited from your family, culture, or social media. Perhaps happiness for you is freedom over status, creativity over competition, connection over visibility, or peace over constant expansion. There is no universal picture that every life must copy. Ask, if no one were watching, what kind of day would feel deeply right for me? Your answer may be quieter than the life you thought you had to pursue. Honor it. Say, I release the old conditions that postpone my life. I define happiness according to my values, and I allow some of it to exist now. Try a simple exercise called 3 Signs That Life is Being Kind to Me. At the end of the day, identify one thing that went more smoothly than expected, one person who showed kindness, and one moment in which your body relaxed. These experiences do not need to be extraordinary. Perhaps a line moved quickly, someone held a door, or you found the information you needed. Perhaps a friend remembered to ask how you were feeling. Perhaps your breathing softened while you looked outside. Naming these moments teaches the mind that pressure was not the only thing present. Next, ask, what has become better? Look for improvements that have grown slowly enough to escape notice. Maybe you recover from criticism more quickly. Perhaps you communicate a need more directly, manage a responsibility more calmly, or recognize an unhealthy pattern sooner than before. Do not wait only for final results. Improvement often arrives through small changes in how you respond. A life may be getting better internally before the evidence becomes dramatic enough for other people to see. Then ask, where does joy live in my body? When something pleasant occurs, notice the physical response. You may feel warmth in the chest, an easier breath, softer muscles around the face, or a lightness in the hands. This is not a test, and not everyone experiences joy in the same way. You are simply learning its language within you. Let the good experience remain for several seconds. We often hurry through pleasure and dwell extensively on worry. Reverse that habit gently. When someone says something kind, breathe before moving on. When you complete meaningful work, look at what you have done. When a view touches you, stay with it a little longer. You are not trapping the moment or demanding that it last. You are allowing it to be fully received before it passes. This turns a brief, pleasant event into a memory your mind can retrieve. Say, I allow good moments to register. I notice them, feel them, and let them become part of the story I tell about my life. Deep happiness is not created only by what you receive. It also grows through what you contribute. Human beings often feel more alive when their efforts matter to someone or something beyond immediate personal comfort. Contribution creates connection between your inner gifts and the wider world. Purpose does not need to be enormous. You do not need to start a movement, become famous, or discover one perfect calling. Purpose may be caring for your family with tenderness, doing honest work, creating beauty, solving a practical problem, or helping one person feel seen. Meaning can appear in how you perform an ordinary role. You may bring patience into a stressful workplace, clarity into a confusing process, or warmth into a home. The task itself may seem small, yet the quality you bring can change another person's experience. Look at the gifts already living within you. Your talent may be visible, such as writing, teaching, organizing, building, or creating. It may also be relational, listening, encouraging, comforting, noticing, or helping people feel safe. Experience itself can become a gift when you use what you have learned to support someone else. Your pain does not have to become your purpose, but the wisdom gained through difficulty may deepen your compassion. What once made you feel isolated can help you recognize another person's struggle. You can offer understanding without remaining trapped in the old story. Ask, what makes my life feel meaningful? Do not answer according to what should impress others. Notice when you feel connected to your values and useful in a healthy way. Then ask, what goodness can I offer today? The answer may be one conversation, one careful piece of work, one kind action, or one honest creation. Purpose should not require endless self-sacrifice. Your contribution is most sustainable when it respects your humanity. You can serve and still rest. You can give and still receive. Meaning should connect you more deeply to life, not erase the person doing the giving. Say, my life carries meaning through the qualities and gifts I share. I do not wait for a grand mission. I allow purpose to move through what I can lovingly do today. Do not ask one relationship, achievement, or activity to provide every form of happiness. Create many points through which well-being can enter. When one area becomes difficult, the others continue offering support. Give the body appropriate pleasure. Rest. Move in ways suited to your health and ability. Eat with enough attention to taste the food. Feel water, sunlight, fresh air, or the natural world around you. Caring for the body is not superficial. It gives your life a physical place in which to be experienced. Give the mind something enlivening. Learn a subject that awakens curiosity. Read an idea that expands your understanding. Solve a puzzle, make something, practice a craft, or explore a question without needing the activity to become profitable. The mind enjoys development when learning is not constantly tied to judgment. Give the heart genuine connection. Have a conversation in which both people can tell the truth. Thank someone specifically. Spend time with people around whom you do not have to perform a false version of yourself. Allow affection to be expressed through attention, presence, and care. Give the spirit quiet. Pray, meditate, practice gratitude, sit in stillness, or contribute to something that reflects your deepest beliefs. Spiritual joy often feels less like excitement and more like belonging to a life larger than today's worries. Notice which area has been neglected. Perhaps you have been stimulating the mind while exhausting the body. Perhaps you are caring for everyone's heart except your own. Perhaps you have many comforts but little sense of meaning. Balance does not require equal time every day. It requires enough awareness to respond before one part of life becomes entirely forgotten. Create a simple menu of happiness with one option for body, mind, heart, and spirit. Keep the actions small enough to use on ordinary days. You are creating multiple entrances through which life can nourish you. Say, I welcome happiness through my body, mind, heart, and spirit. My well-being is supported by many loving points of connection. The statement, happiness is a choice, can become unkind when it is used to blame someone for sadness, grief, depression, or circumstances beyond their control. You do not choose every emotion that appears. You cannot order the body to become cheerful, and you do not create every painful event through your thoughts. Choice lives in how you accompany yourself within the experience. On a difficult day, choosing happiness may mean choosing not to add self-criticism to exhaustion. It may mean resting rather than calling yourself lazy. It may mean asking for help rather than isolating yourself because you believe you should cope alone. Choice can be small. You may not know the complete answer, but you can take one step. You can make an appointment, tell someone the truth, prepare nourishing food, or reduce one unnecessary demand. A small, compassionate choice is still movement toward life. Some seasons require more support than self-help practices can provide. Seeking care from a qualified professional, trusted community, or loved one is not a failure to choose happiness. It may be one of the wisest choices available. Every repeated choice contributes to identity. You become someone who notices goodness, allows joy, seeks meaning, and treats yourself as worthy of a beautiful life. This identity is not built through constant positivity. It is built through the commitment to return. Happiness is my destiny does not promise that every day will be easy. It means that pain will not be the only home you permit yourself to know. You will continue returning to love, hope, connection, beauty, truth, and purpose as often as needed. Say, I do not command myself to be happy. I lovingly choose the next action that supports life within me. I am always allowed to return. In the morning, begin with permission. Before the day presents its demands, say, I am willing to receive something good today. You do not need to know what it will be. This sentence opens attention without controlling the result. Choose one quality you want to carry: ease, courage, playfulness, patience, or gratitude. Let that quality influence one action. If you choose ease, simplify one task. If you choose connection, contact someone you appreciate. If you choose courage, begin what you have delayed. At midday, pause and recognize one pleasant moment. It may have lasted only seconds. Name it, that conversation warmed me. The air felt good. I handled that calmly. Allow the moment to count. At the end of the day, record 3 things: 1 joy, 1 meaningful experience, and 1 choice you respect. The joy may be simple. The meaningful experience may have been difficult, but worthwhile. The respected choice may have been setting a limit, telling the truth, or trying again. Before sleep, place the day down. Say, I am grateful for the life that moved through me today. What was unfinished may rest. Tomorrow offers new opportunities to experience, contribute, and receive happiness. Do not turn the ritual into a test. If you miss a day, resume when you remember. Happiness is not withdrawn because you forgot the exercise. The practice exists to serve your life, not supervise it. Take a gentle breath and let these words move through you slowly. I give myself permission to be truly happy. Joy is a natural capacity within me. I do not wait for a perfect life before allowing peace into this moment. I appreciate the goodness already present around me. I choose thoughts that nourish my heart and expand my possibilities. I create joy through small, loving actions each day. I respect my journey while remaining open to growth. My talents and compassion bring meaning to my life. I feel safe receiving success, love, rest, and enjoyment. I am worthy of a life filled with peace, connection, purpose, and joy. Happiness is not outside me. It is growing through the way I live. I was born to live, love, contribute, learn, and experience happiness. I welcome pleasure without guilt, meaning without self-sacrifice, and growth without rejecting who I am today. Happiness is my destiny because I continually return to what gives life warmth, truth, and purpose. My dear, your happiness does not need to look like anyone else's. It may be quiet. It may be creative, connected, prayerful, adventurous, or deeply peaceful. Let it be honest. Let it contain every human feeling. Let it grow through what you notice, choose, appreciate, and offer. You do not need to find happiness once and hold it forever. You only need to keep making room for it to return. This video will help you end the invisible war within yourself and bring every frightened, tired, and hopeful part of you back onto the same side. Perhaps one part of you wants to move forward while another tells you to delay. One part longs to be loved while another searches constantly for evidence that you are unworthy. You may call the resistant part lazy, weak, or self-destructive, but it is not truly your enemy. It is often an old protective voice created by fear of failure, judgment, rejection, or unfamiliar change. Each time you insult yourself in order to improve, you become both the attacker and the person being attacked. The body does not know which side to defend. It only receives the message that danger exists within. Healing does not begin when one part of you finally defeats another. It begins when all parts are invited into understanding and guided by mature love. I do not need to destroy my former self. I need to understand its fear and lead it toward a wiser choice. The frightened ego is not an evil force that must be eliminated. It is more like a frightened child who took control of the vehicle without knowing the road. It remembers shame, painful mistakes, and moments when being visible led to rejection. So it says, do not try. You may fail. Wait until you are perfect, or remain small so no one can judge you. Criticism is the method it learned to use for protection. Perhaps remaining unnoticed once felt safer than being seen. Thank this part for trying to protect you, but do not allow it to continue directing your whole life. Criticism never changes a thing. Fear may need to be heard, but love must now become the leader. Your authentic self speaks differently. It does not humiliate, threaten, or insist that your worth depends upon flawless performance. It may ask you to do something difficult, but its direction is usually simple. Tell the truth, leave what harms you, begin the task, rest the body, or try again. Inner wisdom does not promise that every decision will be comfortable. It reminds you that you can face discomfort without abandoning yourself. When fear appears, do not shout. Be quiet. Ask, what are you trying to protect me from? Then ask whether the danger is actually present or merely resembles an old experience. Finally ask, what can the adult within me do so that we feel supported enough to continue? Every part of me is welcome, but love now leads my life. Another source of inner conflict is the language of should, must, and not enough. You tell yourself, I should be more successful by this age. I must be thinner to be loved. Or, I cannot make another mistake. These sentences create an idealized person and use that image to punish the real person who is living today. Have you noticed how heavy a task becomes when shame is attached to it? The mind may avoid the task because avoidance temporarily reduces pain. Then you label the avoidance laziness and attack yourself again. Procrastination is not always a lack of willpower. Sometimes it is resistance to an internal supervisor who never offers encouragement. You don't have to immediately be perfect. Learning becomes easier when mistakes are no longer treated as evidence of personal failure. Replace commands with conscious choice and responsibility. Instead of I have to exercise, say, I choose to move because my body deserves support. Replace I should be more successful with I will identify one meaningful step. Instead of I must never fail, say, I allow myself to learn through experimentation. Replace I should have known better with I acted from the awareness I had then. Today I understand more. This language does not remove responsibility. It creates an atmosphere in which responsibility can be practiced without shame. I release the person I was supposed to be and support the person I am becoming. You are more likely to move when the next step is offered as loving participation rather than punishment. The body can become the place where this unresolved conflict is experienced. Persistent self-criticism may contribute to ongoing stress and influence. Sleep, breathing, muscle tension, self-care behavior, and how discomfort is perceived. But we must never claim that one specific thought directly created one specific illness. Health conditions can involve genetics, infection, injury, environment, aging, and many other complex factors. You are not at fault because your body is struggling. Self-love can support your relationship with health, but it does not replace necessary medical evaluation or treatment. You are not a bad person for thinking the way you do. Healing language must never become another source of blame. Do not punish the body for changing. Do not call it ugly because it has aged. Hate it because it hurts, or force it into exhaustion to meet an external standard. The body does not need another battle. It needs attentive listening, practical support, and appropriate professional care. Instead of asking, what is wrong with my body? Ask, what might my body need from me now? The answer may be rest, movement, nourishment, comfort, medical attention, or a reduction in unnecessary demands. My body is not my enemy. I listen to it with respect and support it with loving, appropriate care. Partnership allows you to remain hopeful without denying reality. Blame and self-condemnation create another internal division. Your family, environment, former partner, employer, or larger social system may have affected your life in real and painful ways. Acknowledging that influence is honest. It is not weakness. But if all power remains permanently in their hands, your future depends upon their apology, understanding, or change. You may wait for years for someone else to release you. When you blame another, you give your own power away. This does not mean that they are innocent. It means you deserve access to your present choices, even when they never take responsibility. The opposite extreme is placing all blame upon yourself. Mature responsibility does not mean accepting guilt for what someone else did to you. You were not responsible for being mistreated, neglected, betrayed, or harmed. You are responsible now for seeking support, creating safety, setting limits, and choosing what helps you heal. Responsibility does not say everything was my fault. It says, wherever this began, the next step belongs to me. Responsibility is making a conscious choice of how you will respond. This distinction restores power without rewriting the truth. Separate the situation into 3 layers. First, not mine, the behavior, choices, and accountability of other people. Second, it affected me, the emotions, beliefs, and consequences you now carry. Third, within my power today, how you care for yourself, what support you seek, what you allow, and what future you begin building. You can return another person's responsibility without denying the impact upon you. You can acknowledge the impact without making it your permanent identity. Then say, I release blame without denying the truth. I reclaim the power to choose what happens next. The inner war ends gradually, through many moments in which you refuse to attack yourself. Fear speaks, and you listen without surrendering leadership. A should appears, and you translate it into a conscious choice. The body asks for care, and you respond instead of criticizing. The past explains what affected you, but today's responsibility guides what comes next. Be gentle and kind and patient with yourself. You are not trying to destroy any part of who you are. You are teaching every part that it is finally safe to be guided by love. I would like you to begin with a very simple experiment. For the next 24 hours, do not deliberately insult, ridicule, or threaten yourself. This does not mean that every critical thought will disappear. The old voice may still say, "You are useless," "You always ruin everything," or "You will never change." Your task is not to wrestle the thought to the ground. A fight against criticism can become another form of criticism. Simply recognize the voice and refuse to supply it with more ammunition. Say, "I hear the old criticism, and I choose not to continue it." Then add, "I am ending the war with myself." You do not need to win the argument. You need only decline to carry it forward. During this ceasefire, learn to distinguish evaluation from attack. Evaluation says, "I did not prepare sufficiently for that conversation." Attack says, "I am a useless person who can never do anything correctly." Evaluation identifies behavior that can be examined and changed. Attack turns one behavior into a verdict about your entire identity. Evaluation asks what happened, what was needed, and what can be done next. Attack creates shame and leaves no constructive direction. Criticism never changes a thing. You may frighten yourself into temporary compliance, but you do not create a loving, sustainable relationship with growth. Suppose you missed a deadline. The old response may be, "You are lazy and unreliable." During the ceasefire, replace it with facts. "I underestimated the time, became distracted, and did not ask for help soon enough." Now you have information. You can apologize, renegotiate, change the schedule, reduce distractions, or begin earlier next time. Say, "This mistake needs correction. It does not need to be used to destroy me." You are not avoiding consequences. You are removing humiliation from the process of taking responsibility. Perhaps you spoke harshly to someone. Self-love does not say, "It does not matter because I must accept myself." It says, "My behavior caused harm, and I can repair what is possible without withdrawing love from myself." You apologize clearly, listen to the impact, and change the pattern. Shame says, "I am bad, so there is no point trying." Responsibility says, "I behaved badly in that moment, and I am capable of another choice." Responsibility is making a conscious choice of how you will respond. Accountability becomes stronger when it is not tangled with self-destruction. Keep a small mark on paper each time you catch an attack. Do not record it to prove how negative you are. Record the moment of recognition, because recognition is the beginning of change. At the end of 24 hours, count how many times you interrupted the old pattern. Perhaps you caught it twice, perhaps 20 times. Every interruption matters. You cannot insult yourself into becoming a more loving person. The ceasefire is successful whenever you stop one bullet that would otherwise have been fired inward. Next, write down the judgment you hear most frequently. Perhaps it says, "I never finish anything. I am too sensitive. No one truly wants me," or "I must be perfect to have value." Write the sentence exactly as it appears, then read it slowly and notice whether it sounds like your natural voice or like something learned. Many beliefs enter consciousness before we are old enough to evaluate them. A parent, teacher, sibling, religious authority, or frightened caregiver may have spoken from their own limitations. Your beliefs are merely habitual thinking patterns that you learned as a child. A belief can be familiar without being true. Ask, "Who first spoke to me this way?" You may remember one person, a family atmosphere, or no specific source at all. Then ask, "How old was I when I began believing this?" A 6-year-old cannot examine criticism with adult perspective. The child assumes that powerful adults know the truth. Next ask, "How did believing this help me remain safe or accepted?" Perhaps, "I am too sensitive," taught you to hide feelings in a family that could not tolerate emotion. Perhaps perfectionism helped you avoid punishment. Perhaps believing no one would stay prevented you from becoming vulnerable. The belief may have caused pain and still have served a protective purpose at the time. Finally ask, "Did the person who gave me this message truly understand who I was?" They may have seen one behavior and turned it into an identity. They may have been exhausted, frightened, or repeating what was said to them. Understanding their limitation does not erase the effect upon you. It helps you stop treating their perception as an eternal authority. Say, "This belief may have entered through someone else's fear, but it does not belong in my future. I release it now." You do not have to condemn the person in order to end the inheritance. Imagine placing the belief outside your body. You might write it on another piece of paper and say, "This sentence traveled through my family, but it will not travel through me any farther." Do not destroy the paper if that feels too dramatic. Simply place it aside as evidence of something you no longer need to obey. Then write a replacement that is honest and supportive. "I never finish anything might become. I am learning to complete one meaningful task at a time. I am too sensitive, may become. My sensitivity gives me information, and I am learning to use it wisely. No one wants me may become. I am available for relationships that recognize and reciprocate my love. A new belief needs repetition and lived evidence, not force. Do not worry if the old sentence returns. It has traveled the same mental route for years. Each time it appears, say, I know where you came from, and I no longer mistake you for my identity. Then practice the replacement through one action. Complete a small task, honor an emotion, or move toward a reciprocal connection. A thought can be changed. Change becomes more believable when thought and behavior begin supporting each other. Behind many difficult behaviors is a younger part trying to prevent an old pain. The part that procrastinates may fear failure and exposure. The angry part may fear humiliation or being ignored. The people-pleasing part may believe disagreement leads to abandonment. The perfectionist may believe mistakes cause love to disappear. If you see only the behavior, you may attack it. If you recognize the fear beneath it, you can offer guidance. Be gentle and kind and patient with yourself. Gentleness allows the frightened part to stop defending itself long enough to learn something new. When you notice a strong reaction, ask, how old does this feeling seem? You may be an adult in the present, but the panic may feel 6 years old. Place a hand over your heart and say, it is all right, we made a mistake. Tell the younger part, a mistake does not make you a bad person. Remind it, we are safe enough to look at what happened. Then make a promise. I will not abandon you when things become difficult. We will repair what can be repaired together. These words create a different inner authority, one that protects without terrorizing. Reparenting yourself does not mean indulging every feeling or avoiding responsibility. A loving adult does not allow a child to do anything simply because the child is upset. A loving adult listens, explains, provides limits, and follows through. If you behaved poorly, you still apologize. If a task matters, you still complete it. If a habit is harmful, you still create a structure to change it. The difference is that correction comes from dignity instead of disgust. I can hold myself accountable without withdrawing my love. Love remains present while behavior is adjusted. Imagine how this might sound in daily life. Instead of, why have you ruined this again? Say, something did not work. Let us understand why. Instead of, you are so lazy, say, we are avoiding this task. Is it unclear, overwhelming, frightening, or physically exhausting? Instead of, you should know better, say, we understand more now, and the next choice can reflect that understanding. Your language teaches the nervous system whether mistakes lead to learning or emotional exile. I forgive myself for not knowing what I had never been taught. Forgiveness opens the door to instruction. Then prove your reliability through action. If you promise the body rest, do not wait until complete collapse. If you say you will leave what repeatedly harms you, begin making a safe and practical plan. If you promise to seek help, contact an appropriate person. If you tell the younger part that its feelings matter, make time to listen rather than silencing it with constant activity. Trust grows when the adult self becomes consistent. I am now the loving, steady, and trustworthy presence I once needed. Your younger self does not need perfect parenting from you. It needs dependable repair. Now stand before a mirror if you can. Look into your pupils rather than inspecting the shape of your face or searching for something to correct. Meet the person who has accompanied you through every age, mistake, loss, achievement, and beginning. You may feel awkward, emotional, irritated, or tempted to look away. All of these responses are welcome. The mirror reveals the relationship you already have with yourself. It does not create the discomfort. It makes the discomfort visible enough to be healed. Mirror work is simple and very powerful. Say your name slowly, then speak these words. I am no longer fighting you. We are on the same side now. I forgive you for not knowing what you had never been taught. I love you, and I will prove that love through the way I live. Pause after each sentence. Notice which statement you can receive and which one feels difficult. Do not rush to make the exercise look spiritual. Honesty matters more than performance. If I love you, create strong resistance. Do not force it. Begin with something closer to your present truth. I am willing to stop being cruel to you. You may say, I am willing to learn how to respect you, or I am willing to remain with you today. Willingness is not a lesser form of healing. It is an honest beginning that the mind can accept. I am willing to learn to love myself. Repeat it until the possibility feels less foreign. The mirror declaration must end with one concrete commitment. Ask, how will I demonstrate peace with myself today? Perhaps you will let the body rest at an appropriate time. Perhaps you will complete something you promised yourself. You may stop contacting a person or place that continually reopens harm. You may ask for help, prepare a nourishing meal, schedule an appointment, or speak a truth that has been held inside. Love is never outside ourselves. Love is always within us. Inner love becomes visible through outer choices. Return to the mirror during difficult moments, not only when you feel calm. If something unpleasant happens, look into your eyes and say, I love you anyway. Events come and go. Approval comes and goes. Success and disappointment come and go. The relationship you build with yourself can remain. You are teaching yourself, nothing that happens today will make me emotionally abandon you. That is the foundation of peace. Peace with yourself does not mean that you stop growing, working, or correcting harmful habits. It means that hatred is no longer the fuel for change. Love says, you deserve a good life. Discipline responds, I will protect that life through consistent choices. Discipline is not an internal voice screaming at you. It is the ability to do what matters even when the emotion of the moment is not enthusiastic. I only give out that which I wish to receive. Give your future self the consistency you hope life will give you. Build discipline through structure rather than punishment. Choose a waking time you can sustain rather than creating an extreme routine that collapses after 3 days. Complete one important task before allowing distractions to divide your attention. Keep one small promise to yourself. Establish one clear limit with an activity, person, or habit that repeatedly drains your energy. Small structures reduce the number of decisions you must make while tired or emotional. I am a capable person, and I can handle anything that comes my way. Capability is strengthened by agreements you can realistically keep. Self-love without discipline can become avoidance disguised as kindness. You may say, I am honoring myself, while continually postponing work that protects your future. But discipline without love becomes punishment. You force the body, demand perfection, and call exhaustion commitment. The mature relationship combines both. Ask, what supports me now and what will support me later? Sometimes the answer is rest. Sometimes it is completing the task. I am loving and disciplined. I care for my present self and protect my future self. Responsibility is another expression of peace. Stop waiting for an apology before allowing yourself to live. Stop waiting for perfect circumstances before beginning the next appropriate step. Stop asking a person without the capacity to recognize your value to become the authority who finally confirms it. Life does not guarantee that every situation will be fair, but you can still decide what continues in your world. Each morning ask, which part of my life is waiting for me to take responsibility today? The answer may involve money, health, work, relationships, or the way you speak to yourself. Responsibility does not say that everything is your fault. It separates what belongs to others from what belongs to you now. Another person remains responsible for their behavior. Your past circumstances may have limited what you could choose then. Today, however, you may possess options that were not available before. I reclaim the power to choose what happens next. Power may look like asking for help rather than solving everything alone. Be prepared for discomfort when your choices begin changing. When you stop pleasing everyone, guilt may appear. When you allow yourself to be visible, fear of judgment may rise. When you rest, an old voice may call you lazy. When you choose differently from your family, you may feel disloyal. These emotions do not automatically mean that you are making the wrong choice. Sometimes they indicate that your nervous system is leaving what is familiar. When you first begin doing something new, it never feels right. New can feel strange before it feels natural. Learn to distinguish the discomfort of growth from the discomfort of danger. Growth discomfort may include nervousness, uncertainty, or guilt. Yet beneath it, you sense that you are respecting yourself. You remain free to choose, speak, pause, and reconsider. Danger involves threats, coercion, humiliation, violence, or genuine loss of safety. You do not need to remain in danger to prove your courage. Seek help and protection when needed. It is safe for me to speak up for myself. Courage includes leaving what is harmful. Suppose you set a healthy boundary and immediately feel guilty. Ask, did I do something harmful, or did I merely do something unfamiliar? If you communicated respectfully and protected a legitimate need, the guilt may be an old alarm. Let it exist without rushing to erase the boundary. Say, I can feel discomfort without turning against myself. The body learns through experience that saying no does not make you cruel. Suppose you begin a meaningful project and fear being judged. Do not wait for the fear to disappear before working. Give the fear a smaller role. Say, you may sit beside me, but you may not control my hands. Complete 1 page, 1 email, 1 application, or 1 hour of practice. I am willing to learn. Action teaches the frightened part that visibility can be survived. If resting creates discomfort, establish a clear and reasonable period of rest rather than collapsing indefinitely or refusing to pause at all. Say, for 30 minutes, I am allowing the body to restore itself. Then I will reassess what is needed. This gives both love and discipline a place. You can be relaxed and still handle whatever you need to handle. rest, and responsibility can cooperate. Let this become your affirmation for the transition. I can feel discomfort without turning against myself. I remain loving, disciplined, and free. You do not need comfort at every moment in order to remain faithful to yourself. You need enough inner safety to choose rather than react. Making peace with yourself does not mean that you stop correcting mistakes, developing skills, completing responsibilities, or changing harmful habits. It means you no longer use self-hatred as the engine of improvement. The frightened ego is not expelled. It is placed into the care of your mature self. The body is not punished. It is listened to and supported appropriately. The past is not denied. It is returned to its proper time. Our ability to change and adapt and flow with the process of life is our healing power. Change no longer requires an enemy. You and the person you want to become are not standing on opposite battlefields. Your future self is not disgusted with you. That person exists because you are willing to take the next step today. They need your honesty, discipline, courage, and care not your destruction. I support the person I am becoming by loving the person I am today. The present self is not an obstacle. It is the only self who can make the next choice. There will still be difficult days. You may criticize yourself, procrastinate, become reactive, or return to an old relationship with shame. The appearance of an old pattern does not restart the war unless you choose to attack yourself for having it. Recognize it, understand what activated it, repair what is necessary, and begin again. I am in the process of positive changes. A process contains repetition and many opportunities for return. Tonight, review the day without putting yourself on trial. Ask where you remained on your own side. Notice one moment when you interrupted criticism, traced an old belief, comforted a frightened part, kept a promise, or moved through discomfort without abandonment. Praise that moment. Then identify one repair for tomorrow. Praise yourself as much as you can. Encouragement creates energy for continuation. Now place one hand over your heart and repeat. The war within me is over. I release criticism, blame, shame, and the demand to be perfect. Every part of me now belongs on the same loving team. I accept responsibility without punishment, discipline myself without cruelty, and move through discomfort without abandonment. I am safe with myself, I am healing, I am free. Let these words become a commitment rather than another standard you must perform perfectly. Peace is renewed whenever you choose not to fire the next shot. It is renewed when truth replaces insult, responsibility replaces blame, and discipline joins hands with love. You do not have to destroy yourself to transform your life. You need only remain on your own side while you learn a better way. This video is about two of the most powerful words you use when speaking about yourself. I am. These words do more than describe a passing feeling. They begin to name the identity you are willing to accept. Each time you say, I am, the mind looks for memories, evidence, and behavior that agree with whatever follows. If you repeatedly say, I am weak, you begin noticing every moment of tiredness while overlooking the strength that carries you through the day. If you say, I am a failure, one disappointing result can become evidence against your entire worth. You may be very careful about how you speak to other people and still call yourself clumsy, poor, unlovable, or hopeless when no one else is listening. Where did you learn those descriptions? Perhaps they came from an old experience, a frightened parent, an impatient teacher, or something said when you were too young to question it. But repetition does not make a statement true. Your beliefs are merely habitual thinking patterns that you learned as a child. A state can change. Your whole being does not need to be imprisoned inside that state. Now listen to the difference between I am experiencing difficulty and I am a difficult person. One describes an experience, the other condemns an identity. My body is experiencing a symptom leaves room for care, medical support, rest, and change. I am a sick person can make the condition feel like the complete definition of who you are. My finances need attention identifies a practical area that can be improved. I am poor turns a current circumstance into a permanent name. I am feeling anxious acknowledges an honest emotion. I am an anxious person invites that emotion to describe your entire personality. This does not mean denying reality or covering pain with cheerful words. If something hurts, acknowledge it and seek the support you need. We are simply refusing to make a temporary condition your permanent identity. A thought can be changed, and when a thought changes, new responses become possible. The mind tends to protect whatever you repeatedly believe about yourself. If you accept the statement, I always fail, you may remember every mistake while overlooking the many times you learned, adapted, or succeeded. If you believe no one loves me, kindness may be dismissed as insignificant, while one rejection receives all your attention. This is not because you are foolish or determined to suffer. The mind has simply heard the old language so often that it now treats the language as familiar truth. You are not a bad person for thinking the way you do. Do not criticize yourself when you catch an old label. Say, that is an old thought. I no longer choose to describe myself that way. Then choose language that separates you from the event. A result did not meet your expectations, but you remain capable of learning. A person did not choose you, but your lovability remains intact. Your circumstances are giving you information. They are not announcing your final identity. The first principle for using I am consciously is to speak in the present. When you say, I will be peaceful someday, peace remains somewhere in the future. The mind can continue postponing it because someday never has to become today. Instead, say, I am choosing peace in this moment. This does not require your entire life to feel peaceful. It asks only what you can choose during this breath. Perhaps peace means lowering your shoulders, turning away from an unnecessary argument, or completing one task at a time. You might say, I am becoming calmer with every conscious breath, or I am learning to trust myself now, or I am open to receiving good in this moment. These statements contain something you can begin practicing immediately. The only moment you ever live is this moment. The present is where new language can become new behavior. The second principle is to name what you want to create rather than continually describing what you want to escape. When you repeat, I am not afraid, the mind may still place fear at the center of the picture. Try saying, I am developing gentle courage, Instead of I do not want to be poor, say, I am building financial stability and wisdom. Instead of I am no longer unlovable, say, I am worthy of honest and mutual love. Do you see the difference? The first statement keeps turning toward the old enemy. The second gives the mind a new direction. Affirmations are solutions that will replace whatever problem you might have. You are not arguing with the old image all day. You are naming the quality you are ready to practice. Do not describe the prison repeatedly. Begin describing the life outside it. The third principle is to let the body participate. An affirmation repeated hurriedly while the body remains clenched may reach only the thinking mind. Slow down and allow the words to become a small physical experience. When you say, I am safe in this moment, loosen your jaw, lower your shoulders, and let the exhale become longer. When you say, I am worthy, allow yourself to stand upright without becoming rigid. When you say, I am open to abundance, uncurl your fingers and let your palms open. You are not using emotion to force life to deliver every outcome you desire. You are helping the body become familiar with the state from which you want to live. You can be relaxed and still handle whatever you need to handle. The body can gradually learn that peace, dignity, and receiving are safe. Try this now. Place one hand over your heart and take a comfortable breath. Say, I am safe enough to be present. Notice whether the body softens or resists. If resistance appears, do not say, I am doing this wrong. Ask, what part of me does not yet feel safe? Perhaps that part needs rest, practical action, reassurance, or a healthier boundary. Affirmations should not silence useful information. They create a loving atmosphere in which you can listen without attacking yourself. Say, I am willing to hear what my body needs. Then pause. The answer may not arrive immediately, and that is all right. The fourth principle is especially important. Use a bridge statement when an affirmation feels too far from your current belief. If you look into the mirror and say, I completely love myself, and everything inside replies, no, you don't. Please do not force the words until you feel defeated. Begin where the mind can remain open. Say, I am willing to learn how to love myself. Willingness does not demand that you complete the journey today. It opens the first door. You might say, I am open to the possibility that life can improve. Or each day, I am becoming more comfortable with peace. Or it is becoming safer for me to receive. These are not weaker affirmations. They are honest bridges between the belief you have and the possibility you are beginning to accept. Do not use I am as another instrument for criticizing yourself. You do not need to monitor every sentence with fear or punish yourself whenever an old phrase appears. That would create more tension, not healing. When you hear yourself say, I am hopeless, pause and gently correct the language. I am feeling discouraged, and I am willing to support myself. When you say, I am terrible with money, try, I am learning to handle money with greater clarity. When you say, I am always sick, change it to, my body needs care, and I am listening. Be gentle and kind and patient with yourself. Changing language is a practice, not a test of perfection. Now choose one I am statement for today. Make it present, positive, embodied, and believable enough that you are willing to practice it. Perhaps it is, I am safe to take one step at a time. Perhaps it is, I am worthy of my own kindness. Perhaps it is, I am becoming more peaceful in my body. Say it when you wake, when you pass a mirror, and when an old identity tries to return. Then perform one small action that agrees with the new statement. If you are worthy of kindness, speak kindly to yourself after a mistake. If you are learning financial stability, look at one account without shame. If you are choosing peace, decline one unnecessary conflict. I am in the process of positive changes. Let I am become not a sentence that traps you, but a doorway into the person you are consciously choosing to become. Let me share a simple story with you. A woman once told me that what she wanted more than anything was a beautiful new home. She had collected photographs, imagined every room, and repeated that she would finally be happy when she had it. But when she spoke about her present home, she criticized everything. She neglected small repairs, allowed clutter to accumulate, and treated the space as though it did not deserve care because it was not the home of her dreams. One day she asked herself, "What do I believe the new home will allow me to feel?" Her answer was peace, dignity, beauty, and the freedom to welcome people she loved. Then she realized that she did not need to wait for a new address to begin practicing some of those qualities. She cleaned one room, repaired what she could, placed flowers near the window, and invited a friend for tea. Her circumstances had not yet changed, but her relationship with life had. I bless my home with love. She stopped asking the future to give her permission to feel alive. This is what it means to live in the feeling of what you desire. It does not mean pretending that you already possess something you do not have. It means identifying the inner quality you believe the result will bring and allowing part of that quality to enter your life now. If you desire success, perhaps what you truly want is freedom, confidence, recognition, or the ability to contribute meaningfully. If you desire a loving relationship, the deeper longing may be safety, mutual choice, affection, and the freedom to be yourself. If you desire more money, the body may be asking for stability, options, rest, and greater control over your time. Once you identify the quality beneath the goal, you no longer have to wait for the completed result before practicing it. You can create one moment of confidence, one experience of safety, or one decision rooted in self-respect today. The only moment you ever live is this moment. The future is formed through the qualities you practice in the present. Ask yourself, if I truly believed I was worthy, how would I speak to myself today? Perhaps you would stop calling yourself foolish after a mistake. Perhaps you would no longer beg someone to recognize what they have repeatedly ignored. Ask, if peace were already welcome in my life, how would my body breathe? You might relax the jaw, lower the shoulders, and stop treating every delay as an emergency. Ask, if I were living from abundance, how would I care for what I already have? You might organize your finances, care for your possessions, or use your talents instead of waiting to feel completely ready. Ask, if I trusted myself more, which small decision would be different? Do not search for a dramatic answer. The new identity often enters through an ordinary choice. What you choose to think is what you will get in life. And what you repeatedly choose to do gives the new thought somewhere to live. A feeling must eventually lead to an aligned action. Saying, I am healthy, while continually ignoring the body's need for appropriate care creates inner conflict. Saying I am abundant while refusing to look at any financial number does not build stability. Saying, "I am worthy of respect," while repeatedly remaining silent about mistreatment does not help the body trust the affirmation. Your words do not need to produce perfection, but they should begin influencing your choices. The complete movement is simple. New words create a new inner orientation. That orientation supports a new choice, and the choice produces new evidence. The mind then has something concrete to believe. Doing affirmations is consciously choosing to think certain thoughts that will create positive results in the future. Add behavior, and the affirmation becomes more than a pleasant sentence. It becomes a direction for living. I am declarations for every area of life. Well, let us begin with the body. Many people speak kindly to everyone around them and then stand before the mirror and attack the one body that has carried them through every day of their lives. They notice weight, age, pain, fatigue, or a symptom, and immediately declare the body an enemy. But the body is not trying to ruin your life. It is continually adapting, protecting, communicating, and requesting support. If you are living with illness, affirmations should never replace appropriate medical evaluation or treatment. Their purpose is to change the atmosphere in which you participate in your care. Instead of fighting the body, you can listen to it. Instead of reducing yourself to a diagnosis, you can recognize the many parts still working faithfully. Your body knows how to heal itself. You can support that natural intelligence with patience, nourishment, rest, movement when appropriate, and qualified care. Say these words slowly and notice how the body responds. I am listening lovingly to the wisdom of my body. I am supporting my healing with patience, rest, nourishment, and appropriate care. I am grateful for every part of my body that is working for me today. I am willing to believe that greater well-being is possible. You do not need to deny pain while saying these words. You can acknowledge discomfort and still refuse to make it your entire identity. Ask the body, what would support you today? Perhaps the answer is water, food, sleep, medical attention, gentle movement, or fewer demands. Then follow through on one appropriate request. I make healthy choices. I have respect for myself. Respect turns healing from a war into a partnership. Now let us look at the mind. Thoughts can move very quickly, especially when you are tired, frightened, or uncertain. One anxious thought can generate 10 imagined outcomes before you have finished breakfast. If you believe every thought simply because it appeared, the mind can carry you into events that have not happened. But you are not required to follow every thought. You can observe the mind with the same patience you would offer a frightened child. Say, I see that you are afraid. Let us return to what is happening now. No person, place, or thing has any control over your feelings because they do not think in your mind. Your power begins when you recognize that a thought is an event in consciousness, not an unquestionable command. Practice these declarations. I am the loving observer of my thoughts. I am allowed to feel without being ruled by every feeling. I am creating peace through the choices I make today. I am safe in this present moment. If an emotion is strong, do not use these affirmations to push it away. Name it honestly. I feel angry. I feel frightened. Or I feel disappointed. Then add, and I am here with myself. This creates space between you and the emotion. You have anger, but you are not only anger. You experience fear, but fear is not your whole identity. It is safe for me to express my feelings. Feelings can provide information without becoming the permanent authority over your choices. Self-worth is not a prize awarded for beauty, productivity, achievement, or popularity. If your value depends upon performance, every mistake becomes a threat to your identity. If it depends upon approval, another person's mood can determine how you feel about yourself. You may have spent years trying to become acceptable enough to receive love. Yet, love obtained through self-abandonment never feels secure because part of you knows that only the performance is being accepted. You do not have to earn the right to be loved. Your worth is the foundation from which you learn and grow, not the reward waiting after you have perfected yourself. Say, I am worthy of love without having to perform for it. I am enough while I continue to grow. I am deserving of respect, including respect from myself. I am a unique expression of life. Then ask how a person who respects themselves would behave in one current situation. Would you speak more honestly? Would you stop apologizing for a reasonable need? Would you rest before exhaustion? Would you complete something important instead of abandoning yourself through avoidance? Self-worth becomes credible when it shapes your behavior. I stand on my own 2 feet. I accept and use my own power. You do not need to prove that you are better than anyone else. You need to stop treating yourself as though you matter less. Prosperity is not only about attracting money. It includes recognizing opportunities, creating value, managing resources, receiving fair compensation, and allowing some of what you receive to remain with you. You may repeat abundance affirmations all day, but if you avoid every financial conversation, refuse to develop your skills, or give away your work because receiving makes you uncomfortable, an old pattern remains active. Prosperity asks for openness and participation. Money is not spiritual or unspiritual. It is one form of exchange that can support health, shelter, education, choice, generosity, and rest. Money is a means of exchange. It has no meaning in itself. You can give it a healthier meaning through the way you create, receive, use, and respect it. Say, I am open to honest, joyful, and sustainable prosperity. I am capable of creating, managing, and receiving money wisely. I am available for opportunities that honor my values. I am supported by visible and unexpected channels of good. Now, let the affirmations guide one practical action. Review an account, send an invoice, learn a useful skill, apply for an appropriate position, or ask to be compensated fairly. Do not demand that one action produce an immediate fortune. You are building a new relationship with value and receiving. My income is constantly increasing. Let the increase begin not only in numbers, but also in your capacity, clarity, confidence, and willingness to recognize opportunity. Affirmations about love are not tools for controlling a particular person. You cannot repeat a sentence until someone becomes emotionally available, honest, or ready to commit. Your affirmations change the standard from which you choose and participate. If you affirm mutual love, you become less willing to remain in one-sided pursuit. If you affirm emotional safety, inconsistency no longer feels like romance. If you affirm self-respect, you stop calling self-abandonment loyalty. When you truly love who you are, You stay centered, calm, and secure. Your relationship with yourself influences what you recognize as acceptable from others. Say, I am available for love that is mutual, honest, and emotionally safe. I am free to express my needs with kindness. I am no longer required to abandon myself to keep another person. I am attracting relationships that reflect my growing success. Self-respect. Then look at your relationships as they are, not only as you hope they will become. Are words supported by consistent behavior? Can you speak honestly without being punished through withdrawal, ridicule, or manipulation? Are care and responsibility mutual? You do not need to label another person bad in order to recognize that a relationship is not healthy for you. Sometimes forgiveness means letting go. Love can remain in the heart while your choices become wiser. Many people postpone movement because they cannot see the complete path. They want certainty about every outcome before taking the first step. But life often reveals direction through participation. You take one appropriate step, receive new information, and then choose again. Guidance may appear as an idea, an opportunity, a conversation, or a growing clarity about what no longer fits. You do not need to force a grand answer. Everything I need to know is revealed to me. Trust does not mean sitting still forever. It means moving without demanding that the entire future be explained first. Say, I am guided toward the next right step. I am willing to learn from every experience. I am becoming the person who can hold the life I desire. I am ready to cooperate with life. Now ask, what is the next right step? Not the entire journey, just the next step. Perhaps it is gathering information, making a call, completing a task, resting before deciding, or saying no to a direction that repeatedly diminishes you. I can do it. I can feel good about myself. I can make positive changes in my life. Let your new identity become present enough to choose what comes next. In the morning, choose your identity before the world chooses one for you. Stand before a mirror and look gently into your own eyes. Do not begin by correcting your face, body, or appearance. Meet yourself as a living person who deserves a kind beginning. Choose one quality you want to embody during the day: peace, courage, self-respect, creativity, patience, clarity, or compassion. Then say 3 times, today I am choosing to embody peace, or whichever quality you have selected. Do not stop with the words. Ask, what is one action that would demonstrate this quality? Peace may mean not answering a provocative message immediately. Courage may mean making a necessary telephone call. Self-respect may mean saying no without inventing an excuse. I love you. What can I do for you today to make you happy? Then listen for one honest answer. During the day, pay attention to statements beginning with I always, I never, or I am the kind of person who. These phrases often introduce an old identity. You may hear yourself say, I always ruin everything, I never finish, or I am terrible with people. The moment you notice the sentence, pause. Do not attack yourself for saying it. Say, that is an old pattern. Then add, this experience is happening, but it does not define me. Finally ask, what do I choose now? You might replace I always ruin everything with I made a mistake, and I am willing to repair what I can. Replace "I never finish" with "I can complete one small part today." When you catch a negative thought, just think to yourself, "This is an old thought. I no longer choose to think that way." Recognition is the moment your power returns. Use the body to support the correction. If you catch yourself saying, "I am helpless," place both feet on the floor and take one practical action. If you say, "I am not safe," look around and identify what is actually happening in the present. If a real danger exists, respond appropriately. If the danger is an imagined future, help the body return to now. If you say, "I am not worthy," straighten gently and speak to yourself as you would to someone you love. The physical action gives the new sentence evidence. Thinking well of yourself is an act of kindness that pays enormous dividends. You are not pretending. You are interrupting an automatic conclusion and creating another possible response. In the evening, collect evidence for the identity you practiced. Write down one moment when you responded differently than you would have in the past. Record one choice that reflected self-respect. Thank the body for one thing it did well. Note one small step that moved you toward the life you desire. Perhaps you paused before reacting, completed a task, ate when hungry, asked for help, or allowed yourself to rest. These examples may seem small, but the mind learns from specific evidence. If you say, "I am becoming courageous," and then record the honest conversation you initiated, the affirmation becomes more believable. Praise yourself as much as you can. Acknowledging progress gives the new identity a history of its own. Do not use the evening review to search for failure. If the day did not unfold as intended, ask what you learned. Perhaps you chose peace in the morning and became reactive by noon. That does not make the affirmation false. It shows you where the old pattern remains strong and where you need more support. Write, "I noticed the moment I left my peace, and tomorrow I can pause sooner." You don't have to immediately be perfect. A new identity develops through practice, repair, and patience, not through one flawless day. Love is not a state of excitement you must maintain every hour. It is the way you treat yourself when you are tired, frightened, disappointed, or changing more slowly than you hoped. Anyone can repeat a beautiful affirmation when everything feels easy. The deeper practice begins when you make a mistake and refuse to humiliate yourself. It begins when the old pattern returns and you respond with curiosity instead of hatred. The greatest gift I can give myself is unconditional love. Unconditional does not mean approving of every behavior. It means that your love does not disappear while you are correcting the behavior. You do not raise your vibration by hating the version of you who once survived through fear, pleasing, avoidance, or control. Thank that version for carrying you until another choice became visible. Then say, "We know more now, and we can choose differently." Safety makes change possible. When the present self feels continually attacked, it clings to familiar defenses. When it feels loved, it becomes more willing to experiment with a new response. Be gentle and kind and patient with yourself. Gentleness is not weakness. It is the atmosphere in which sustainable transformation can occur. When "I am" is placed inside love, it stops sounding like a harsh command. It becomes permission. I am allowed to begin again. I am safe to learn. I am worthy while I grow. I am becoming more of who I truly am. Say the words slowly and let them belong to the body as well as the mind. You do not need to force the universe, prove your worth, or become perfect before your life can change. You need a new thought, a new feeling, and one loving choice that supports them. I am in the process of positive changes. Let that be your identity today.